Hi and welcome to my Flosstube number 14. I'm Esther and I'm SpeedyXStitcher and I live in Denmark. It has been less than a week since my last Flosstube, and you might wonder, okay, why is she doing another Flosstube? And the answer to that is pretty simple. I'm making Flosstube in Danish as well as in English, and when I decided to take up my English Flosstube again, I also decided that I wanted to do it. I didn't want to do it at the same time as my Danish Flosstube. And now I have been doing it for a couple of months, and it has turned out that now I have to film almost every weekend, because I try to make a Flosstube every 2 weeks, and hence then I have to make a Flosstube every weekend. I think I can easily say I did not think that through, because it gives me quite a lot of extra work to keep track on what did I show in my last video and what did I not, or what did I show in the Danish and I didn't show in the English, and vice versa. To put it short, I have therefore decided that as from today I will film my English as well as my Danish Flosstube on the same day. But when I will edit them and when I will upload them, that's yet to be decided. I mean, sometimes I will probably do it on the same day, and other times there will be some days apart. Yeah. But anyway, then I only need to keep track of my stitching in one place, because it has only been a couple of days since my last Flosstube. I have not been stitching on that much, but I do have a little thing to show you, and I have received some very, very happy mail. So really happy mail. And I got some stitching merchandise of my own design that I would like to show you. But it will probably be a short video again. In my community tab, my question 4 days ago was whether I would like to hear what you would prefer to hear when I show you my projects. And my questions were whether you would prefer to hear how many stitches I stitched on it or how many days. And 56% would like to hear how many stitches, and 44% how many days I stitched on it. Therefore, I have decided to tell you both, I think, because it was so close, and I do keep track on how much I stitch, so it's no big deal for me to tell you both, which is what I'm going to do now, because I'm moving straight into my projects. As you know, I am stitching Stitch Spooky in September 2024, a tag I made for Instagram, and you're more than welcome to join. I stitched on Halloween Cat. Where is it? Yeah. I haven't been stitching on this for a long time, so if I can find a photo of how it looked before, I will show you, and otherwise you just have to live with it. Yeah. So this is how it looks. It's on 18 count. Is it? I think it's called silver. Yeah, it's silver lurex 18 count, and I hand dyed it. And now the cats look like this. I stitched on it for 1 day, and I stitched 275 stitches. So it's probably not going to be finished this Halloween, but that's okay. Then I stitched on the Halloween witch carriage. I stitched on it for 1 day, and I did 269 stitches. And now you see, I might have shown you this in my last Flosstube. I actually don't remember. If I have, please bear with me. This will probably be the last time that I mix this up. Anyway, this is how it looks. It's on 18 count silver lurex and hand dyed by me. And I love the way the colors look on this piece of fabric. And I stitched on it for 1 day, and I stitched 269 stitches. One more Halloween project is by Soda Stitch. It's called Halloween Jar. I call it Halloween Jar number 2 because I finished the first one. It looks like this now. It's on 14 count Ada and hand dyed by me. I stitched on it for 1 day, that was actually yesterday, and I did 484 stitches. And I mostly stitched this black house here yesterday. Yesterday I was at a talk by probably the most famous stitcher in Denmark. I cannot translate her name because I don't think you can find that in Danish. Never mind. Yeah, and I sat stitching this while listening to her. So the talk took place in a museum. In a museum, it's about 40 minutes by car from me. And I didn't know until recently that they quite often have exhibitions about stitching. At the moment, they have an exhibition about hedebosyning. That's kind of the Danish version of Hardanger. I will see if I can find a photo and put in so you can see for yourself. The exhibition was closed when I was there yesterday, but in, I think, February, they are going to open an exhibition with Brodderisten, the one I heard yesterday. And I'm looking very much forward to that because she stitches a lot of swear words and other subversive stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that exhibition. Also because of some other stuff, but I don't think I'm allowed to talk about that. So you will have to wait to hear about that. So let's move on. Yeah, I could say that this is a bit naughty. Maybe some of you remember this one. She made this one. The first time I heard her, I was stitching this because we all got this kit. And of course I gave it this backside, of course. But as you can see, I made that in 2023. I got a new version of it. This is her logo. And since the pattern is on the backside, I cannot show it, but it's still the backside and get a quiet head is what the Danish word says. Okay, let's move on or back to the projects. I have 2 more projects to show you. They are new. You have seen one of them. It was those autumnal patterns from the latest issue of Cross Stitcher. And I'm completely obsessed with them. But I did finish the first one. And it looks like this. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. yeah, it's really, really amazing. I stitched on it for 5 days and I stitched 3,132 stitches, I think it was. A little more than 3,100 stitches. Apart from this, I have also been working on a project that someone asked me to stitch. It was a very personal project. I mean, I did. He had the text, but I made the pattern and then I stitched it for him. And usually, as I told him, usually I don't stitch for people because I find it very boring to stitch what other people would like me to stitch. But this one was quite fun to stitch, which is why I stitched it for him. But usually I don't. Yeah, and that was a little more than 3,000 stitches. But since it was a personal thing, I cannot talk more about it. But anyway, I then began on the chestnut. It looks like this. And the reason why this I'm going to wait to stitch to fill out, because all this just has to be filled out with the purple color. So that would be very nice when I'm very tired one evening, then I can just fill out, because then I don't need to. Then I don't stitch wrong and have to frog afterwards. I worked on this for 2 days and I stitched 1,158 stitches. So that was my stitching. Yesterday I bought this, it's Ada, that is, this is water soluble Ada, and I have a jacket. Most of my colleagues have this jacket as well. That means they look very much alike, and usually I don't bring it to my work because I'm afraid that someone will take it by accident. But I think that if I stitch my initials with a neon color or something, just to try this out, then I will always know that it's my jacket. So eventually I'm going to try that, which is why I bought this. And then is the happy mail. Just a moment. You might recall that I recently bought my first Mirabilia. I have now recharted it so it's Pattern Keeper compatible. And I have also been talking about how difficult, if not to say impossible, it was for me to get hold of the call for floss, because the only place you can buy that in Europe is in the UK, and the UK is not a part of the European Union anymore, so it will be way too expensive. I wrote about this on internet, and Christine from America reached out to me, and 2 days ago, I mean on the 29th of August, I got a message that I had some mail from the US in customs, and I was really, are they going to charge me $24 or not? They weren't, and it went through the customs with no extra bills, and then it disappeared. Usually you cannot talk to them, the Danish mail. You can only talk to a bot, I mean write to a bot, and Do you know how frustrating it is to talk to a bot that only have pre-written answers for you, not necessarily answers that you need? Anyway, I succeeded in getting behind the bot. That's very difficult. It's not an easy way in there, but I actually managed to get a question through to their customer service after the bot had told me that it would take five weekdays before my package would arrive. And now it had been gone for 10 days, 9-10 days at this time. And then I wrote to customer service and said, I think that's a bit more than those promised 5 days. And the answer I got back was that, well, we kind of lost the package. I have absolutely no idea where it is. Could you please ask the sender to make a complaint in the US? And sorry for the inconvenience. And I was just like, what? You misplaced my package. You, and a lot of not so pretty words. Anyway, I think it was the day after, or maybe 2 days after, I was going to check if it was still just stuck. It just said that it was being sorted out and nothing more. Nothing has changed. And then suddenly when I opened the app, it said it had been delivered. And I was, what? Because usually when you get mail, I can follow it on the app and it will tell me that now it's preparing to be delivered, blah, blah, blah. And I will be notified by email as well as notifications. Nothing of that kind. But when I came home, it was there. Ta-da! I got the classic color word, Belle Soie, the silks needed for this project. And I'm so happy. So thank you so very much, Christine. It's so absolutely wonderful to be a part of a community like this where people reach out and help. And I hope that one day I will be able also to help someone out if it's possible for me. Anyway, now where I had the floss, it was time to find which fabric I would stitch it on. And I had decided that I was not going to stitch it on Aida, but on even weave. It calls for a 32 count, but I asked in one of the Facebook groups I'm in whether it would be okay to maybe use an 28 even weave instead, 27. And a lot of those who answered, they said that 28 is absolutely fine. Actually, look, the beading looks a bit better. And I looked through my 28 and my 27, and the fabric I found that had the best color for this project was a 27 count, but it has been hand dyed, so it's shrunk a bit, so I think it will be all right. And this is the fabric. It looks like this. And I think it's going to look absolutely wonderful with these colors on it. Remember, there are going to be a lot of beads also. Talking about beads, when I ordered the beads, the Mill Hill beads, I was looking at 1, 2, 3 stitch. Not that I was ordering from there, but it's a kind of, usually when they have a pattern, they have also made so you can see what you need of other stuff to make that pattern. What I did not, and then I have shown you before, so, but I do have the Mill Hills and the special Krynic, blah blah blah, and I missed that one of the beads were actually not there. It's this one here, when I was trying to kit up, because the reason why it wasn't there was that further down it said that it had been discontinued, and then they gave another number as a substitute. So I have just yesterday ordered that, but I was not that very happy with the color of it. So it ended up with me at Casa Janina to order, I think, 5 different kinds of beadings. The same kind of beadings, but 5 different bluish colors. And then I'm going to decide which ones I think look the best on the fabric. So very soon I'm going to start this. I know I can actually start it now because I do have the floss again. Thank you, Christine. But I will wait till I have everything. Last thing, I have a new cup. It's okay if you don't like cross stitch. It's kind of a smart people hobby anyway. And it has the same print on the other side. And inside it's green. I saw this, I mean, I think I saw it as a meme. And then I made my own design of it and put it on a cup, on a mug. And I also made some postcards, because sometimes I do send letters, for example, fabric or other things. So it's nice to have a card I can send along. So that's my haul. And before I leave, my next question for you, you're probably going to have to, I will put it in the community tab, but you're more than welcome to comment on it here as well, because I'm not able to write down all designers, but I would really love to hear who are your 3 favorite cross-stitch pattern designers. I hope you will participate. It's very interesting to know a bit more about what you prefer to stitch. So that was it for now. For this, my 40th Flosstube. I will be back in 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you will have a nice weekend. Take care, and hopefully you have a lot of stitching, and may your thread always run smoothly. Bye.